Today, we will talk about SHX and the price action, where we have seen just about a 250% change within the last week or so, which is shown much more clearly here. And more importantly, why this has actually happened. So if we check out the chart, this is the 1 day chart. We went from about point what 0006 or so all the way up to a peak of about 0.0029 on December the 22nd, which it hasn't exactly had a lot of news other than the beginning of a governance vote that began on the 24th. That'll go through the 29th. And I will explain that more here in just a little bit. But on our chart, we are kind of trending back down on our momentum and on our RSI as well on the 1 day. But if we look at the long term, which that is much more impressive. We have a powerful MACD and an RSI. So I think that this general price range will probably hold for a bit, especially once we get the announcement of the voting results. And then if we go on a little bit more short term, we have had some inflows of cash as well, which is indicated by that green. And our MACD is kind of evening out some, and it has just turned down. But I'm expecting that to turn back up once we hear the announcements of the results of the vote. And I do think that a comparison to the explosive price of XDC would be a pretty good indicator of price action here, and I will explain that once I explain what the vote was actually about. So here is an introduction where we are told that SHX reminds them of WadsPay, but at a much lower price entry. And this was on the 19th when we were at 0.0008. And we have essentially taken a zero off of the price at this point. So here is what has actually been happening. That is probably why the price explosion has actually happened.
Attention all SHX community members. The moment we've been waiting for is here. The Q4 SHX governance vote is now open, and it's your time to shine. This window will stay open for 5 full days until December 29th. Take your time, make an informed choice, and be part of our shared journey. If you're wondering how and where to cast your vote, we've got you covered. Just click on the link below this video for all the details you need. Let's make this vote count and shape the future of SHX together. Get ready, get excited, and stay tuned for the results. Your voice matters, so let's make it heard.
Okay, well, that was a little hypey, but it is important. So the first ever vote was opened up on December 24th of 2023, and it's all about what to do with the rewards off of the payments made with SHX. So here is an example of a vote from K. Fingal, who puts out a lot of really good information about SHX, and he voted for a 50% proportion with burn. So essentially, you'll get 50% of that SHX back as a reward, and the other 50% will be burned, which will take away supply and will drive up the price. So, why is SHX one of the things I have begun to talk about a lot? Well, it is primarily because of who they are actually teamed up with. They are teamed up with Ripple and XRP, IBM as well. You have heavy involvement with XLM because it actually runs on XLM, and you have some interesting unofficial associations with Visa as well, and it is ISO 222 transaction protocol compliant as well. So they now list XRP as one of their assets, which is really interesting, but it makes a lot of sense because Sean worked on both XRP and on XLM, and Ripple is an investor in the company as well. But it is interesting because Stronghold is actually a source for FedNow, which I will explain more in a video probably tomorrow, because I have a lot more information to put together and present on that and how valuable that is. So here is a bit more on why SHX is so well positioned and why this increase in price is only the beginning of the price action that I am expecting in the 2024-2025 bull run, and why this 2021 and 2022 performance should be hit once again. And in my opinion, I think now it will surpass that by quite a lot.
Shane, are you on, or let's talk a little bit about kind of the back end. We'll get a little geeky with this.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're interoperable. So we first launched on Stellar. No surprise, because that's kind of where we started with IBM, and it is a protocol that's very specific to payments, right? It confirms in 3 to 5 seconds. Like, the transaction fees are tenths of a penny, and the throughput is like 3,000 per second. So it's very similar to how like a Visa would work today. So we first started on that. We also issued a portion of the token on Ethereum. So we have Ethereum. So it's just it's interoperable between the two. And I think that you'll see in the future that we'll go on other protocols that are more similar or more suitable for payments. So you can take your guess on what those things are. There's Solana that's out there today. It's Ripple, and if you kind of investigate what those look like, we're totally open to being on to more, because I think that for us, back to that interoperability, I think that it's you're going to have a lot of different chains for different use cases, and
which is interesting because it runs on XLM right now, but we've also got ETH, Sol, and XRP called out as well, and in particular with XRP, that makes a lot of sense just because it is essentially, in some ways, the exact same as XLM. But with ETH and Sol, you have access to things like smart contracts. But with the XLM protocol 20 upgrade, you will have contracts on XLM as well. So here are some of the really interesting partnerships and a lot of the big people who are associated with SHX even right now. So of course you have Ripple, who is an investor. You have I can't say STs, but you have the NACHA, which is the Payments Association for ACH payments, which is one of the things that that SHX is concentrating on. That I believe it was 2021. That was worth about 76.7 trillion. And you've got IBM as well, with WorldWire and Hyperledger, but you've got people like Netflix, Visa, JPMorgan, Walmart, and an interesting one that I will explain more is Bancorp as well, which has some really interesting connections into FedNow. So here's just another example. In 2014, Chris Larson put XRP on a credit card and used it to fill up his tank. The founder of Marqeta is an investor advisor with SHX. So you have all of these really interesting connections in between Ripple, XLM, and SHX. And if you look down here, you can see Bancorp as well. But with all of the deep ties between XRP, XLM, and SHX, I think that this price action is just a very tiny taste of what is to come. And I did talk about XDC at the start because back in back in July, I think it was. Oh yeah, I can't end up on the 4-hour time frame here. But if we go back to July, and it was right around the time when the ruling on XRP came out, where XRP itself was not a security, which makes 100% sense. We saw XDC go from about it was about 3.5 cents all of the way up to about 10 cents. I thought I saw it up to like 12, and it has come back down to about half of that, which is very comparable to what SHX has done over the last week or so. And if we adjust this again, we hit about 0.003, and we're back down to about that, like 15 to 20 right now. So I'm expecting it to hold, but I think as of the 29th, which is actually tomorrow, and as they announce what the results are, I'm expecting it to have a positive pump.